Hello everybody, welcome to this press conference. Je vais faire ma déclaration principalement en anglais, mais après je vais répondre aux questions en anglais et en français. We are halfway through this by-election campaign, and today I wanted to address the main concern that I hear from voters in Portage-Lisgar, the so-called vote split issue. The vast majority of the voters in this riding are conservative-minded. In the 2021 election, the Conservative Party candidate received 53% of the vote. Our PPC candidate came in second place with 22%. The Liberal and NDP candidates combined received just 24% of the vote. It is simply impossible for the Liberals or NDP to win this riding. It is a two-horse race between the CPC candidate and me. And I can tell the Conservatives are very nervous. Why else do you think Pierre Poilievre would be in Winkler today to support his candidate? As well, the Conservative Party has been pouring money into cynical attack ads online and on the radio with all sorts of silly lies about me. They don't attack the PPC principles and policies because they know they are very popular among their voting base. I meet many people every day here who say they agree that the People's Party has the best platform and ideas. They agree that the establishment parties have screwed up everything for decades. They agree that we need radical change to save the Canada we love. But they also desperately want to get rid of Trudeau. And they mistakenly believe that the only way to do this is to vote for the Conservative Party. Because if they vote for the People's Party, they are going to split the vote. The Conservatives want everyone to believe this because it's the only argument they have against us. I want to tell the voters of Portage-Lisgar who are still insecure about supporting me on June 19 that this is just not true. You are not voting for the next government, but only for your local MP. No matter who is elected here on June 19, we will still be stuck with Trudeau as Prime Minister. The Liberals will still be able to govern with the NDP support. If you send another fake Conservative to Ottawa, nothing changes at all. The only way to make change in the House of Commons is to send me. Why not use this opportunity to send a message to the establishment Conservatives and tell them you are not satisfied with with what they have to offer to you? The fake Conservatives did not speak up or do anything to fight COVID mandates and passports for 2 years. Instead, Pierre Poilievre called on Trudeau to vaccinate everyone faster and spend more money on COVID handouts. Tell them you want an MP who will stand up to defend our fundamental rights even when it's not popular. The fake Conservatives have done absolutely nothing to reopen the abortion debate. Pierre Poilievre has said that a Conservative government under him will not pass any law to restrict abortion. It doesn't matter if my opponent calls himself pro-life. His party will not do anything. Tell them you want an MP who won't be afraid to reopen the abortion debate. The fake Conservatives are completely silent about the radical gender and trans ideology. They unanimously voted for Bill C-4 with the other parties to criminalize parents and therapists who want to help confused children. Tell them you want an MP who will fight this evil ideology and protect women and children. The fake Conservatives believe in the climate hysteria. In 2017, they all voted for a motion to support the UN's Paris Accord, except me and one other conservative MP. Instead of paying Trudeau's carbon tax, Poilievre wants you to pay for subsidies to green energy. Tell them you want an MP who rejects the climate hysteria and the globalist agenda. The fake conservatives support Trudeau's mass immigration policies. They want to import the equivalent of Manitoba's population every year, even though housing prices have become unaffordable everywhere. Tell them you want an MP who will fight for sustainable and reasonable immigration. Voting the same as you have always done won't change anything. You know that Pierre Poilievre and his 114 MPs will not fight for your values. One more silent coward will not make any difference, and he will only toe the party line. The Conservatives are taking your vote for granted, and they never deliver on your priorities. If in this by-election, we are running a candidate, myself, who believe that we must work for people. And the other candidate, the PPC candidate, won't do anything for you. He won't fight against the radical climate agenda, but has been working, yes, the PPC candidate has been working with them to impose it on farmers as a lobbyist for the grain growers of Canada. He is in line with the climate hysteria. They are laughing in your face. The split the vote argument makes no sense because the People's Party and the Conservative Party are two very different parties with different principles and policies and a different approach to politics. We are the new Reform Party. They are the old Progressive Conservative Party. The Conservatives think they can be elected by pandering to big city liberals and agreeing with the liberals on all the key issues. Liberals, the key issues, and they are the same. That's why you need to vote for the People's Party of Canada. And if the Conservatives are elected, they will have no mandate for change. Don't get me wrong. I detest Trudeau as much as any of you, but the by-election is not an opportunity to remove him from office. We must take a stance for our family values. We must have a distinct vision of what is a healthy society looks like. I believe that the only way to advance conservative ideas is to defend them openly with passion and conviction. We need to have these debates and convince more Canadians if we ever want to implement conservative policies. I hope that there will be a public debate organized before the end of this electoral campaign between me and the fake conservative candidate, so that the voters of Portage-Lisgar can see how very different our approaches and vision are. If you vote for me on June 19, you won't split the vote. On the contrary, you will elect an MP who shares your family values and will defend them in Ottawa. Give me a chance to prove it to you. Send me to Ottawa as your representative and allow me to shake the establishment consensus. I will vote with the Conservatives when they have the courage to act as real conservatives, and I will denounce and shame them when they don't. I can be your insurance policy to ensure that real conservative ideas will be debated and promoted in Ottawa. And if I don't keep my word, then in 2 years, you can vote me out. It's a risk-free 2 years trial period. Here in Portage-Lisgar on June 19, you have a unique opportunity to positively impact your communities but also the rest of the country. You can be the start of a common sense, a populist revolution that will reverberate across the country. You have nothing to lose and everything to win. Don't miss that chance. So I'm ready to answer some of your questions. Je suis prêt à répondre à vos questions si vous en avez.
Thank you everyone for listening to Maxim's speech. Your microphones have been muted for the duration of the conference. They will now be unmuted. If you are joining from a computer, please raise your hand so that we know that you have a question. If you are joining by phone, we will get to you after. If anyone has a question, they can now unmute their microphone.
I believe I was very clear.
If there are no questions, we will end the conference now. Thank you very much for attending.